curious turn of events when somebody who is not a member of the National Wrestling Alliance is able to get a world heavyweight champion to come into his area to compete. However, Ric Flair is that kind of a champion. He has made the statement before that whatever it takes to defend his title, he'll do it. And I must admit there was some urging here in the part of Bob Geigel, the president of the NWA, but you are coming to the Mid-South area, sir.
Well, Gordon, I'm not coming of my own choice. You know, I said I made it very clear I wasn't going to wrestle Kerry Von Erich anywhere else except Japan or North Carolina, my home state. And I'll tell you why that is. You see, every time that Fritz Von Erich puts together some huge extravaganza, you got to know that the odds are against me. You think I like being forced into these situations? So what happens now? But Fritz Von Erich gets on the horn with Cowboy Bill Watts, one of the biggest wrestling promoters anywhere in the world today. But a man that has stayed out of the National Wrestling Alliance for whatever reason makes no difference to me. All he's done is cheat those people there the opportunity to see the greatest athlete alive today, the world's heavyweight champion. And Mr. Watts, I don't like you, I don't like what you represent, I don't like what you stand for, but you are a big-time promoter with lots of money. So if the match is signed, and if I'm forced to come into the Mid-South, then gear up, because I'm sure all you people there are starved for the sight of a real man and a real champion. If all I had to cheer for day in and day out were the New Orleans Saints, then I'd be real starved for the sight of a great athlete. And if all I had to cheer for were the Oklahoma Outlaws or the Sooners or the Cowboys from Oklahoma State, well, then you gotta know that a real athlete is going to be something to behold. Well, I'm going to be there. The world heavyweight champion, the greatest athlete alive today. And Kerry Von Erich, your dad and Bill Watts have put this together. Brother, that means your name and your reputation are on the line. So gear up, Big Daddy. Woo, because the Nature Boy, woo, in all his raven glory, the world heavyweight champion is coming to the Mid-South. And ladies and gentlemen, take this opportunity. Don't miss it. There's only one like it. And remember, diamonds are forever, and so is Ric Flair. Woo!
Magnum TA's loyalty could have cost him a great deal, Boyd, because he is scheduled next to wrestle Crusher Darso in the 5th round of the television tournament for $10,000, and he certainly was a favorite going into this tournament. If he doesn't show up for the match, it'll be a forfeit, and Darso will win it. Speaking of Darso, last week in Houston, Nikolai Volkov and he demanded that Paul Bosch let them present a situation where Darso has changed his name to Crusher Khrushchev. Let's watch that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nikolai Volkov says that he has a message for the American people and he wants to give it to them, and that fair play says he should be up here doing it. You may do it.
That's right. Right here, I have nobody also but my comrade Darso. And he have American name Darso because he was a great wrestler, because I like him, because he accepted the Russian flag. Now I legally change his name in Khrushchev Crusher, because the Khrushchev was the greatest Russian president and he was the fighting president. And here, Darso, I represent you this show. Do you know what this means with Comrade Khrushchev did this? I tell you, Darso, Comrade Khrushchev said, we go bury the American capitalism in this, and me, you, comrade, we go bury American wrestlers. And now, for this event, I will sing Russian national anthem for the Russian comrades here in the States and the whole world. Hey, Камарад, Nicholas Khrushchev, и все поживаете.
Comrade, Nikolai.
Comrade.
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful. We go better them, comrade, we go better them because that's what we are here for. We go show those cowards they're going to show up in the Russian Olympic, and I'd be afraid if they don't show up in their own Olympic. And look at the Sarajevo, they've never been to one gold medal.
Well, Crusher Khrushchev, the Russian turncoat, is in the ring now, and if Magnum TVA doesn't show up, it will be a forfeit, and Crusher Khrushchev will advance in the tournament standings. Let's go to the ring announcer now.
What a fan of Mid-South Wrestling is that tremendous entertainer. I asked Jerry several questions. Here is some of that interview.
I watch it at home. You know, wrestling to me is one of the most entertaining things on earth. You know, you hear a lot of pros and cons about wrestling. There's wrestling fans that fight you over wrestling. I know, I grew up, my family was wrestling fans. I'd go down to the City Auditorium, up in Marietta, the Municipal Auditorium in Atlanta, and we'd watch wrestling. I mean, I've seen things in wrestling rings that make my heart stop, just stop. So it really is, it's enjoyable to me. It's a fun sport, and it's fun to watch. And you know, the wrestling fans are, they're in those matches like they're in the ring themselves. And that's what's really so good about it. You know, it's the wrestlers, you relate to them. They communicate with them, you know, and it's macho, and it's good. Macho's good. I like it.
I'm going to show you my private collection, but shh, don't tell Mid-South, my 2x4 collection. This right here is my formal wear, like in Theodore DiBiase or tuxedo matches. Works very good. This right here, my walking tall stick for the bigger types, like Kamala. This one right here is basic hacksaw, 2x4. Works very well in any situation. And right here is my Skandar Akbar Special, 4th of July. I like it better than anything that the Akbars had. And then, of course, we have the old Hacksaw Attitude Adjuster. This is great. Personal size, fits down the leg. Works every time. Tough guy.
The thrill of victory, and you worked hard for it. You know, Dick Murdoch is one of the toughest wrestlers that ever get in the ring. I've wrestled him myself. I know how tough he is. He takes the advantage of any break he gets, and that's the mark of a champion. When you get a break, you got to take it. You took the break. You're the champion. Congratulations.
You know, Bill, I just happened to be the first to get the break and come out on top with it. You know, I'm as happy as any wrestler in this profession right now today because I'm achieving my goals right now. And right here, this North American Championship is one of my goals, but it don't stop here, Bill. You know, out there with Dick Murdoch, you know, just like he said, it's none tougher. And I just happened to take the break just before Murdoch did, and I come out on top, 1, 2, 3.
Well, I know you and I have talked, and you're on schedule with what you want to do. You came back and won the TV title, now the North American title. The next is the world's title in Ric Flair. But first, let's go to the dressing room. A lot of guys were congratulating you in New Orleans. Some of those guys are going to be challenging you, Butch, but let's join them in that celebration.
All right! All right, all right, put the rubber in there. A little champagne time, go here. I'll just drink it all. It's okay with me, baby. All right.
Hacksaw Butch Reed's the new North American champion. Butch, how's it feel?
Well, I feel wet right now, bro. But I'm hurting. I'm hurting. You know, Dick Murdoch's one hell of a champion. He's one hell of a professional athlete. He's just like a shark after blood out there. He was on my knee. I'm sitting there. My knee is swelling up on me now. And I know one thing about me being a North American champion, that it's only just begun. And I know that Murdoch is coming back. And when you come back, Dick, the same way you gave me the shot after shot at this thing right here, I'm going to be man enough and honor you with the shot too. And it's still going to be a fight. And I'm still going to do all I can to hold on to this belt because one thing's in my mind. Ric Flair's next. North American title NWA title is next. I'm looking to make history, brother. I'm looking to be the first black champion in the world. Thank you.
All right, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, what do you think of this man, the new Northern?
I watched that match, Jim Ross, and it was a classic match because I know Dick Murdoch. I know he's a man of integrity. I know he's a tough nut to crack. I know Hacksaw Butch Reed also is a tough guy, and I saw one great battle. My hat's off to Butch Reed, but I just want you and Dickie Murdoch not to forget one thing. That's Hacksaw Jim Duggan, like champagne too, along with them North American Heavyweight Championship belt.
All right, Jake, your thoughts on this?
What else can you say? I mean, the people seen the thing. I mean, we were back there watching and pulling. You know, we all have our favorites deep down inside. But one thing about this I can understand. It was a great contest, and anytime you put two men head-to-head and let them go, brother, I'm going to be there to see it. And Butch, man, I know you're hurting right now, but your heart's got to feel good, brother, because that's that first step for Flair. First step for Flair, man. He's going with it. I think he's got it, baby. You got it.
Very good, man. Tell Ric Flair to get ready, because this is the first step right here. You know, I've been North American champion before, and I know what it takes to hold on to this thing. Dick Murdoch knows. All the rest of the people that's done been North American champion knows that it's a tough job and it's not easy. It's not easy being a North American champion in the Mid-South wrestling area.
Well, Butch, some of those guys that were shaking your hand and drinking that champagne, they're going to be the same guys wanting to put their name on that contract for that North American title.
Yeah, that's right. You know, Bill, it all starts right now for a North American champion. Being a North American champion around here in Mid-South, it's a very tough job, and you got to be a tough individual to do it, because Duggan is a tough individual. You know that, and everybody else knows that. Dick Murdoch, he deserves another shot, and I'm right here, and I'm willing, and I'm ready for anything that Mid-South feels that Butch Reed should do to defend his title. I'm ready for it.
Well, of course, I know your goal, though. Ric Flair,
right.
If he maintains that championship, or whoever is the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, you set a goal to be the first black World's Champion, and I think there's a new intensity.
I'm ready.
You know, Butch, Dick Slater, Mr. Unpredictable, he came here with a mission. This guy, without a doubt, is one of the most efficient, deadly mercenaries in wrestling today. He got $25,000 up front to take out the North American champion for Ric Flair. Well, after you won the title and you were in Houston wrestling, our cameras were there, and they went to talk to Ric Flair, and I think they interrupted something they shouldn't seen as they saw Ric Flair and Dick Slater. Let's join just this short film clip we got before they got run out of the dressing room.
Hey, Dick.
Hey, get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here right now! What's wrong with you? Get out of here! Get out of here!
Well, like I say, Butch, we surprised some people there. I don't know how much money's in there, but it looked like a lot of money. Evidently, Flair is getting desperate. He's up in the ante because I think he's desperate because he knows you're pushing him to the wall, and now you got this title. He can't back out. But I say one thing. You got to be double tough to carry it, because Ric Flair is going to sweeten that pot. Dick Slater's going to be coming. What are your thoughts?
Well, you know what I think about bounty hunters, Bill. The bounty hunters is a back jumper. And I tell you one thing. It don't make any difference to me about bounty hunters. Well, I don't want to say it like that, because a bounty hunter is out to hurt me. And I'm going to do everything I can to keep this belt and to prove to the people and the fans and myself, most of all, that I am world's heavyweight champion material, and that I am here to stay. And Ric Flair, your back's against the wall, and you don't have anywhere else to go except to me, Butch Reed, right here.
Well, congratulations again, Butch Reed and Boyd Pierce. Give them something we have in store for them.
We really have something in store, because this week you'll see the Mid-South Tag Team Champions, Wildcat Wendell Cooley and Al Perez, in action. The Bruise Brothers will be here. That's Pork Chops Cash and Mad Dog Boyd. Humongous is on the card. Jake the Snake takes on Dirty Dutch Mantell.
Here with me in the ring, I'd like to introduce the new Mid-South Tag Team Champions, Dr. S.D. Williams and Ted DiBiase. And I must say, on this auspicious occasion, it is certainly tremendous to see Ted DiBiase back in the squared circle.
Thank you very much, Jim. You know, been going through a lot of changes here lately. You know, when I got hurt, this injury was like running into a brick wall, and somebody hit me over the head and opening my eyes, because I realized at that point in time that all the money that I'd acquired and all of the prestige and glory that I had so viciously sought for so long, it meant absolutely nothing if I didn't have my health. And Dr. Death has been a good friend, and friends are what I needed. And I also found out that in spite of a lot of the things I've done in the past, a lot of people in Mid-South still wanted to see me come back and wrestle again. And I can't think of a better way of coming back than coming back with my partner who stood by me, regaining the Mid-South Tag Team titles. And in 1986, I'll say this, Doc and I are going to try to be your champions.
Well, quite obviously the fans are in total agreement. And one other thing, ladies and gentlemen, that I want to touch on is recently in Lake Charles, Louisiana, Steve Dr. Death Williams was in his automobile, and he came upon a tragic automobile accident that cost 2 people their lives. There was also another person in the automobile that, and according to the state police reports and the newspaper articles that we have on this situation, Dr. Death Steve Williams tore the door off the hinges and pulled a man from the back seat of the car, saving his life. It's made big news in the state of Louisiana. And I tell you what, that's an all-American effort from someone that we're all very proud of for that particular gesture.
Well, Jim Ross, I'd like to say something that, like Ted said, that, you know, we've gone through a few changes here in the past few months. I'd like to tell you people something. I go up and down that highway every night. I'd like to say one thing to all you people. While you're driving to the store, the convenience store, or wherever, please buckle up. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is tremendous to have the new Mid-South Tag Team Champions back with us, and you will see them in action right after this.
Ted DiBiase is out. I hope he's not seriously injured. Luke Williams came all the way off the top rope. There's the decision. It looks like we have new tag team champions.
Well, there you have it, new tag team champions, and I think the victory had to be due, at least in part, to this man, Jack Victory. And Jack, the obvious question in a lot of the fans' minds, I think the obvious question in a lot of the fans' minds is why are you associated with the Sheepherders? Why are you carrying their flag?
This team's #1 right here, brother. Number one. They got the Mid-South Tag Team belts right here. That's money in the bank. That's why.
Tell him, Jack. Tell him why.
Jack, are you expecting somebody, or are you?
My girlfriend's coming. Haven't seen her in a month.
Your girlfriend?
Yeah, my girlfriend.
Okay, well, then what made you decide to choose Jack Victory as your new partner?
It took a long time. It took a long time and many years to find a Yank that we could trust. A Yank with guts. A Yank that didn't have a yellow streak down his back. And we found it, didn't we, Jack? We found it. Right here.
I think she's here. Wait. It's her. It's her. Butch, Luke. She's coming through the door. There you are. How you doing, baby? Nice to see you, too. Go board, please, up to the honeymoon suite. Come on, I want you to meet the Sheepherders over here. Hey, Butch, Luke. Hey, this is Max. Hey, what do you think?
Whoa! Yay!
So this is your girlfriend you've been waiting for. Her name is Max? Max. Nice to meet you, Max. Would you mind answering a few questions for our television audience?
Well, I'll tell you what, I haven't seen Jack in a month. I'll do it some other time, but we have a date right now.
Hey, Jack!
Whoa, well, there you have it, the Sheepherders, new tag team champions, Jack Victory and his girlfriend, Max. We'll have more UWF wrestling in just a moment, but first this.
Whoa! Yay!
Ted DiBiase, let me tell you something, boy. You got something that don't belong to you. It belongs to me. It's something that I've worked long and hard for. And ain't no West Texas punk gonna come and steal my title away from me like that, because you know what's gonna happen? All hell's gonna break loose, boy, because you might have been a heck of a football player at West Texas State. But you're with the big boys now, and you got something that belongs to Terry Bam Bam Gordy. And that's the Universal Heavyweight title. Like I said, Ted DiBiase, I worked long and hard for it. And ain't you or nobody else gonna take it away from me.
Well, there's no saying that the buck passing stops at the top, and it stopped right here. And when you sit in this chair, you got to make a lot of decisions. Some of them aren't pleasant. Some of them that anger some of the fans, but generally, the fans of the Universal Wrestling Federation feel that we are fair, that we believe that you've got to make the competition happen in the ring. The unfortunate situation that's come about is concerning the Universal Wrestling Federation tag team titles. Hacksaw Jim Duggan lost a loser leave town bout. These guys are independent contractors, and sometimes when they get so emotional, and you've got to be emotional. Without emotion, there's no great athletes. I mean, it is a sport of physical as well as emotional as well as tactics. He lost a match I don't think anybody thought he would lose. He has to leave the Universal Wrestling Federation for at least 90 days. There's been two individuals quick to point out that puts the tag titles in jeopardy because they have to be defended once every 30 days. Michael Hayes and Skandar Akbar have already called demanding. We've received legal notification. We've talked to Jim, and Jim says, hey, I forced the match. I wanted those rules. I wanted those stipulations. I lost. I got to live up to it. And of course, the Wrestling Federation here, we have no choice but to live up to his stipulation. He has to leave for 90 days. So that, in essence, eliminates he and Terry as a team because of the 30-day clause where it has to be defended once every 30 days. So what we've done, it's immediate action. Wrestling must go on. Saturday, February the 7th in Fort Worth at the Cowtown Coliseum, there'll be a one-night tournament for the Universal Wrestling Federation tag team titles. All of the early matches will be one fall or a 15-minute time limit. If there's a draw, both teams will be eliminated. Regular rules are in effect as far as all the other specifications. The finals match will be one fall to a finish. There will be a champion crowned that night. There are 8 fantastic teams. Ted DiBiase and Dr. Death are the #1 seed. The #2 seed is Terry Gordy and the Angel of Death, the biggest team that's in the tournament. The 8th seed is very interesting. The Iceman, as gentleman Chris Adams have teamed, and Adams is returning and able to wrestle again on February the 7th. Terry Taylor's taken a new partner, Sam Houston, who's coming here. So there's a lot of excitement. Please don't miss it. And we hope that you all will support the new tag team champions for the Universal Wrestling Federation.
We've just heard those comments from the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes and Dr. Death. They're ready for this bull rope collision, ladies and gentlemen. And I must say that you are about this close to losing the television championship moments ago.
Let's not remind that motherfucker, Jumbo. We've got a big surprise for you, Mr. John Ayers, and everybody watching. Because Dirty Dick Murdoch does not take too kindly or too likely to John Ayers trying to be Mr. Big Shot or Mr. Smarty Pants and do what he can with the top 10.
He said
he's stressed over. We got a little surprise for you. So, Mr. Murdoch, you tell him.
Let me tell you something, Jim Ross. You might know this, a lot of other people know it. I knew John Ayers when he went to West Texas State University. I knew him when he was a defensive tackle when they won the Missouri Valley Conference. I made John Ayers what he is today with the San Francisco 49ers. If it had been for me, the man would have starved to death. Now, how does he come out and rank me #4? That's what I want to know. I told you last week that I didn't care about rankings. I don't want to be ranked. I don't want no titles. I don't want no trophies. All I want is this man right here, friendship. And now, through the years that I've been wrestling, Jim Ross, you know what the people sitting out there knowing I've never backed up from a human being. I've had some classic battles. I've injured a lot of people. 3 months ago, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and myself sat down. He was drinking iced tea, and I was drinking cold beer, and we made a pact together to start eliminating people from professional wrestling. And now,
Jim Ross, if you'll just hold this and keep yourself right here, up a little bit, buddy. Right here is a little list of hot stuff and Nick's top 10 list of losers. Now, as you can see, 3 months ago we started. Number 1 on this list, Jim Ross, was Magnum TA. I picked Magnum up in my brain buster, dropped him on the floor, eliminated him from professional wrestling as of now. Second, Cowboy Bradley. Do you remember him?
I can't slip my mind. I can't remember.
That's right. You can't remember because he was out 2.5 months ago in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now, down there at Plainview, Texas, I had a match with Herb Gerwig. I eliminated him. Bill Lawson in St. Louis. I eliminated him. The great Bolo, San Antonio, Texas. I eliminated him. Now, as you can see, number 6, Barry Windham. He's next. Number 7, Terry Gordy. He's next. Number 8, Dr. Death Steve Williams. He's next. Number 9, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and your famed Texas Bull Rope match, a bunkhouse match. You're next. And number 10, the Flash of Lexington, Tennessee, John Allen Gillum. If you stick your nose in this, I'll eliminate you too. And now, as you can see, there's already a question mark by number 11 because I put him back down there. Barry Windham will be eliminated in short near future. And Terry Gordy, Steve Williams, and Dusty Rhodes, this man and myself are going to eliminate you in these Texas Bull Rope matches and bunkhouse matches. And thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the World Tag Team Champions are coming up next. Don't you go away.